Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Caroline. We got married in June and now we're sailing around the Atlantic Ocean for the year. Come join us as we document our journey.
In this episode, we cross the English Channel to France. We continue down the west coast and end up in La Rochelle, where we spend some time enjoying the local area. The weekend before we crossed, we spent an amazing couple of days in Bath, where my cousin got married. It was great to spend some time catching up with friends and family. So it's 5 to 9 in the morning on Tuesday. We have set off for Roscoff, crossing the channel. Fairly quiet conditions. We had the engine on for the first couple of hours. Now the wind's picked up nicely. Hopefully going to get into Roscoff by 7 p.m, 8 p.m, maybe 9 p.m. today, depending if the wind and our speed keeps up. We're getting pushed at the moment on the ebbing tide, so we're getting pushed west, but that's soon to start flooding. The flood's about to start, so that'll start pushing us back east. We'll do a bit of an S sort of shape over the day.
I left Falmouth at 3 a.m. this morning in the dark. Luckily no lobster pots, so that's great. I managed to get ourselves on a nice broad reach heading down south towards Roscoff. Had some meagering instant noodles for very early breakfast. But we got the sails into a goose wing formation and we're now more downwind because the swell had got up a bit and was getting a bit uncomfortable, and actually we needed to go a bit more downwind anyway. So I'll show you that. And I think we're about halfway across now. Just woken up from my fourth or fifth nap of the day. Charles has been holding down the fort. Here he is. And this fishing boat has very kindly stopped for us because I think it would have been a real pain to go behind him with his trolling. And we've got a bit more traffic in front of us there as well, but they're well clear of us. About 2 hours hopefully until we land in France. Just getting the tricolor up and the Q flag. And ho. And up they go. So today we punched west from La Baraque, mostly motoring. The wind direction wasn't really working for us, and so we motored west, got round the northwest tip of France, and then came across Chanel de Fort, probably pronouncing it wrong. And this bit you want to go through with the tide, so we timed it to arrive just as the tide was starting to go through in our direction at 4 p.m. And now we're just sailing south from Chanel de Fort to what's called Ras de Seine, which is another little tricky bit that you have to pass at the right state of tide. And once we're through there, it should be fairly plain sailing all the way to Quiberon and Trinité-sur-Mer. Nutritious dinner?
Yeah.
For our first night sailing. Cheers. First night shift, half an hour in. It's half midnight. Charles has gone down to sleep. It's not pitch black actually. There's a bit of light from the moon behind the clouds, and there's not really any traffic that I can see so far. It's about 6:20 now. We're 1 hour away from sunrise. Still pretty dark. It's got a bit foggy, but still okay visibility. Unfortunately we're under motor now because the wind just really dropped whilst as soon as I went downstairs last speed went from 6 knots to less than 3. Morning has broken. Pretty calm out here this morning.
Caroline writing her wedding ceremony script for Nicola and Arthur. Been surrounded by dolphins all morning, which has been very nice. Although there's no wind, so we've had to put the motor on. I love fishing, and here I'm making some mackerel feathers. Earlier on in the summer, my cousin Carl came aboard and we caught lots of mackerels using rigs which I had made. They were getting a bit worn out, so here I'm just making a few more. Unfortunately, throughout the whole of France, I didn't actually catch any fish, so they had the better of me, and they're still sitting in my lure box, having not caught a single thing. But they look good, and it was quite a lot of fun making them. Unfortunately, I lost most of the footage from when we were in Quiberon, but we had a fantastic time with my cousin who just got married. Here we are sailing down the coast towards La Rochelle. We had a couple of 12-hour passages and stopped at various islands, which were very nice, and we're looking forward to exploring them later next time we come this way. Welcome to La Rochelle. This pretty city was founded in 907, and it was called Rupella, which is Latin for little rock. It has a very long and interesting history. However, one fact that denotes that it was the last city to be liberated from German rule in the Second World War. There are some very famous submarine bases, submarine houses just over there, which were used in the filming of Das Boot and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we were staying in Marina des Minimus, which is an absolutely massive marina, just short of 5,000 berths. It takes a good 20 minutes to walk around it. We stayed here to get our bow roller replaced for a larger one and to attach our bowsprit. Whilst the bow roller was being fabricated, we took the opportunity to take the ferry across to Ile de Ré. We're on Ile de Ré, cycling through a nice vineyard, heading to Le Bois, to the beach. There's Caro. Once the bow roller had been fit, it was time to fit the bowsprit. First, I attached the ring to the bow roller and then put in some pad eyes on deck and cut the Jenica pole or bowsprit pole to length. Angle grinding the Jenica pole or bowsprit to be able to fit it on the deck. And here we've put a new bow roller. Now new pad eye, and there'll be another one back there. Go through this round. In the next episode, we cross Biscay. We initially were going to have a 3-day passage to A Coruña, but due to the skipper's poor speed, distance and time calculations, we had to go straight to Lisbon, which ended up being a 6-day passage and a really rather rough crossing. We had a couple of dramas with our autopilot, but the hydrovane managed to help, and we managed to fly our cruising chute for the first time.